Okay, today we're doing the video review for Transformers Beast Wars Insecticon. Insecticon here is a Predacon from the first year of the toy line. He is one of the basic class figures that is a flip former, which means they have a pretty simple, almost one-step transformation. And yeah, here he turns into a little stag beetle here, and it's a pretty good stag beetle mode. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but like most of the plastic, oh yeah, you can tell. There's just like this kind of nice like pearlescent sparkle going on, which is pretty cool because you definitely get that effect with some beetles in real life. One interesting feature of this mode is that if you take the, I guess, pincers here, they're kind of geared together. So if you open and close one, the other one will stay symmetrical to it, which is pretty cool. He's actually pretty capable of standing on his just on his beast legs there. It's kind of can't really tell from this angle, but actually none of the body is really touching the table right now. One thing that I wish is that, so like for his flip former thing, like the legs are just hanging out down here, which is fine. Like they store away well enough, and the arms like make up the legs, but neither peg into place at all, which I kind of wish they did, because I feel like it would have been pretty easy for the legs, since on the bottom of the foot here is just a nice like flat surface. Like just put a hole right there and then a peg down in this area. It wouldn't really screw it up for robot mode, I don't think. And same thing with the arms. They could easily tab into the side of the legs. It's not like a huge issue, because like just with the weight distribution, like it tends to not really matter so much because it's well enough supported, but it just makes things a little bit less solid than I'd like. Another thing that you can do in this mode is open up the shell, kind of, pretend that he's got wings coming out of there. He doesn't actually have any sculpted wings in there, but you can open up the shell and make him glide along a little bit. But yeah, to transform this guy, it is really simple. You just take this section here. You can kind of see this this part here with a little bit of a stress mark on it. If you just like unhook that and just let it go, and it flips down and flip down the feet, and there you pretty much have him in his robot mode. It is as simple as that. And yeah, he's got a really good robot mode. I like this guy a lot. One of the, like, some of the flip formers like kind of suffer by having like a lot of kibble, and this guy definitely has the bug legs going on, but like I don't think it really makes that big a difference. Like I think that he's still got really good proportions, and he doesn't just have this like open shell hanging out on his back. I also think it's really cool that the bug mode head here, just like with the way that it's designed in alt mode, it gives him kind of pecs in robot mode. I think that's really clever. But yeah, articulation wise, he's just really got a lot of ball joints. Shoulders are on ball joints, elbows are on ball joints, which also gives him a swivel there. The head is on a ball joint, and yeah, you don't really get a lot of wiggle out of it. It's mostly just acts as a swivel. But yeah, hips are on ball joints, the knees are on ball joints, and the feet, you get like they can bend a little bit more forward than just like straight back, and then obviously it can bend all the way back. But yeah, he's pretty cool. He does come with sort of two accessories, which very conveniently store in the back here. If you just open up his wings here, or his shell, you take this section out and you take this section out, and then you can close that back up or leave it open if you wanted to. And then you take these two bits and they just peg together, which also creates, I guess the peg is on one side, but it puts a peg right in the middle there. And then you just open up these sections, and it gives them a little crossbow, which is super cool. Like they easily could have just made this like a regular pistol like a lot of the other guys have, but no, they gave him like a sort of individualized weapon, give him a crossbow. Unfortunately, like you can tap it into his hand and it works pretty well, but unfortunately, just because of like all of his legs jutting out, it's sort of hard to tell the effect of it when you're actually looking at it. Like you can tell, but it doesn't look like amazing or anything, but it is a nice little crossbow, and I like that it easily stores in both modes, and it stays in the same place for both modes, so you don't have to, if you didn't want him to have a crossbow, then he wouldn't have to have a crossbow. You could just ignore that feature, and you really wouldn't lose much from the figure, I would say, because it doesn't take away from it at all. But yeah, he's a great little guy. You can get him to a lot of really fun poses here. And yeah, the legs get in the way a little bit, but since they're like jutting out of the arms, like it doesn't mess with it as much as some of the guys who have like legs that are sort of wrapping around and are in a static position, because then it tends to bump into the body a bit more, whereas this guy kind of gets away with it and it doesn't really matter so much. But yeah, there we have Insecticon from Beast Wars. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. I do sort of vintage reviews like this one every Sunday, and then do bots reviews on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But yeah, here we have Transformers Beast Wars Flipformer Basic Class Insecticon.